Welcome back. I'm Emily at Emily's podcast, Tribute to All Little Angels, Part 10, Episode 7 of the Timeline, September 29th, 2024. Thank you, God. This morning it looks to be clear skies in the low 80s today. I'm taking a drive to a nearby Indian reservation. It's about an hour and 40 minutes away. A nice drive just to get away for the day. But I did not make it. I went to the horse races instead. Change of plans. I stayed a few hours. I didn't do much waging, but I did have a good time. When I get back home a little before 6 p.m., I went to the cemetery. I more or less went to drive through. When I leave the cemetery, I go home and enjoy the evening on the patio. September 30th, 2024. Thank you, God, for this day. It's a day to record, so I will do that. But before I start and hopefully finish today, I did receive another update on the listeners. And just within this month, over 100 of people have joined to hear Megan's story. I'm staying positive in October it will be a good month too. And as we all know, I know one of you will help. Even if it's just advice, that advice could go so many ways. Okay, I'm getting started to record. Have a good day. October 1st, 2024. My grandson is up going to work at 7:03 a.m. I'm up too, and I'm thankful for this day. I did not record yesterday, and I tried. It was getting the best of me emotionally. So I had to set it aside. I needed to. So today, again, I'm recording, and I need to get it done. October 2nd, 2024. The episode airs this evening. When I start my day, I did drive through the cemetery. All seems all right, and I'm all right too. I did take a drive around the lake before going home. As I'm driving, my phone dings as if I have a message. The message said, "Don't worry. God is always on time." I thought, oh wow. And I did feel it in my heart and said quietly, I know He is. October 3rd, 2024. This is my free day. I'm doing absolutely nothing. 88 degrees today, so outside I will go. Everyone have a good day. October 4th, 2024. This morning I'm looking through my phone to notice messages I haven't read the past 3 days. I've received numbers moving up of the number of listeners and where they are from. And in just 3 days, it's climbed another 235 listeners. And thank you to all. I mean it with all my heart. Thank you, God, and my angels. October 5th, 2024. Good morning, and I thank God. Madison says she has a surprise for me this evening, so I will be writing an episode this morning and afternoon. I love surprises, and I can't wait to see what it is. Later this afternoon, when I'm done writing, I did get it done, but I did not reread it or time it. About 5:00 p.m., Madison calls and asks, "Are you ready?" And of course, I've been waiting. She tells me, "Dress comfortably," and I thought, no problem there. She's on her way. When she gets here, I get in her car and we leave. We are on our way. She is taking me to the one and only Luke Bryan, his concert. And I couldn't be any more surprised. Thank you, Madison. We did have a good time, and I am happy she took me. October 6, 2024. This morning, first thing, I reread and time the written episode. It is ready to be recorded. I then spent time cleaning, doing laundry, and getting things ready for the week. Later this evening, I went to the cemetery, and at 5:50 p.m., I walk up to Wyatt's area. I take a picture of his headstone. He has his fall and Halloween flowers in his vase. I did take 2 pictures. I visit with him. And as I walk away toward the pavilion, I take another photo of his headstone and the area nearby. Then when I get to my car, I take another photo from the street of his area and the headstone. A short time later, I drive around to visit Megan. And as you know, my first 3 pictures is of the full view area. Megan's flowers are still here. The next picture is of her area and flowers close up. In the 5th picture, it's from the area of her flowers to the southwest and the newly set in headstone. In the next few pictures, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, is of Megan's flowers. In the 10th and 11th pictures, it's from the blue and white Babyland 6th West sign, sitting up next to the existing tree, as always, then Megan's flowers onto the headstones to the west and to the south, which in 2015, the south area of this tree was an open area. And the 12th picture is of the southeast headstone lineup, which the southeast headstone should not be lined up with the rock headstone. The rock headstone used to set west of the tree and north of this southeast headstone. The southeast headstone should sit near the existing tree, southeast of the tree, the existing tree. And then it moves on to the headstones in the west and the Mother Mary statue. And in this next photo, you can visualize the distance between where the east-west street is and the southeast headstone and the rock headstone, and compare them to pictures taken previous in earlier years. The headstones now sits too far from the east-west street. And the 14th picture is from the newly set in drain to the black and white Babyland sign to the double headstones that used to sit east between the 2 trees, the north tree and the south tree. But since 2015, the double headstones sit east of the south tree, the existing tree. And then on to Megan's flowers, and on west to the newly set in headstone. There are headstones to the south of this lineup, which belongs north of this tree. I sit with Megan, and when I'm done observing the area, I visit with her, I talk with her, and I pray for all of them. When I leave the cemetery, I went home, I grab a bite to eat, and I sit down to watch TV. October 7th, 2024. This morning I get a call for Madison and I to go to our friend's house. So at 12:46 p.m., I'm driving up the main street near his house. On the corner of his street, Madison and I both notice a red cardinal fly in front of us. And I thought, "Aw, thank you, my angels." We are now pulling up to my friend's house. He needs cleaning done and he wants to go to lunch. When we were done, we took him by the store and back to his house. Not long after, we head back to the city, and before Madison going home, we went to the cemetery. At 5:29 p.m., I pull up to Megan's area, and the first picture I take is of the southeast headstone to the rock headstone and on to the west to the Mother Mary statue. The second picture is of Megan's area from the blue and white Babyland 6th West sign to, well, the newly set in Headstone and headstones to the south. Megan's flowers are gone. The third picture is from the small newly set in drain, line up, back to the newly set in headstone. And actually, the picture shows the full view area to the electrical pole. There are also pictures to the north of the tree. The fourth picture is a full view picture of Babyland 6th West, and then I drive around to the east side of the cemetery to visit Wyatt. I snap a photo of his area from the street as I pull up. I take one more picture, I visit with him, and a short time later, I pull around to take a few more pictures of Megan's area. The first picture is a full view picture, and the second picture is of the north area of the existing tree, the area that's missing headstones, because they sit south now. As I drive away, I tell my angels I love them, and we leave the cemetery. I take Madison home, and I went home too. Later tonight, I receive a couple pictures of my granddogs, and I am happy to see them. October 8, 2024. Good day, and thank God. This morning into afternoon hours, Madison calls me, and she tells me, when we were at the cemetery yesterday, I said yes. She said, I didn't sleep very well, knowing Megan's flowers are gone again. I said, oh, I know, baby. I keep thinking maybe it's a kid. Maybe it's a boy taking them and giving them to his girlfriend. Or maybe it is the city, showing their true colors again. Madison said, I don't know what it is, but it happens every time we put flowers out there, and they are missing before the time of them cleaning them out of the cemetery. I said, oh, I know it does. It's sickening. Madison said, I'm calling the city. I said, call them. Tell them how you feel. I said, are we allowed to post anything on their webpage yet? Madison said, I don't know. Most likely not. I said, oh no, most likely not. Not the truth, anyway. When Madison and I were done talking, we hang up. Not even 20 minutes later, Madison calls back and tells me, I called the city. I said, you did? She said, yes. I talked with a woman and she said she would call me back. The woman also tells Madison I will have the city manager, who is in charge, call you back. I said, okay, wow. And before I could get those three little words out, I thought, the question is, will he or she call back? Madison says, so we will wait to see if one or both of them do call back. Madison and I let each other go after I tell her, if you hear anything, let me know. Madison said, I will, and we hang up. A little after dinner, I sit to record because it has to be done today. October 9th, 2024. A good way to wake up. The numbers for the podcast of listeners has gone up, and I thank God. As my day starts, I went to the country. It's peaceful here, and I'm happy I went. I stayed a few hours, and when I head home, I grab a bite to eat and went home. October 10th, 2024. This morning, after I eat breakfast, I went to the cemetery. It's just a quick drive-through, checking on things. When I return home, I write in the screenplay, and then at 7:13 p.m., I sit outside on the patio. I am appreciating this evening because I know it will start getting cold, and I won't sit out here no more until spring of next year. I sat outside enjoying the night air, and a couple hours later, I went into the house to receive pictures of my granddogs. I laughed. I called Madison to tell them all good night, and I went to bed. October 11th, 2024. Today I'm taking a free day before I start writing an episode for next week. I went to visit a friend, and as we were talking, my phone dings as if I have a message. It's my sister Susie leaving me an update of the numbers of listeners. And I'm happy to see the numbers are growing, and I appreciate it all. I visit with my friend, and then I leave a short time later. As I'm driving, I drive around the lake before going home. It helps to clear my mind. October 12th, 2024. Thank you, God, for my eyes opening. When I start my day, I clean up some before I start writing. An hour later, I start. I didn't put the pen down until I finished. It did seem a little easier to write today. When I finished, I did reread it and I timed it. And I now know it is long enough to record. Later this evening, 7:25 p.m., I sit outside around the pool. I did take a couple pictures of the sky before going inside. When I settled down for the night, I received pictures of the granddogs. I thanked Madison and told her good night. October 13th, 2024. Thankful I'm awake. Later this afternoon, my grandson asked me to bring the wet, dry vacuum to his mom's house. He wants to vacuum and clean his mom's car for a surprise for her. So, of course, I did, and I know she will appreciate it. When I leave my grandson, I went to visit Madison and my granddogs. I stayed a while, and of course, I rubbed the bellies. They are too cute. I soon leave to go home. I relaxed the rest of the evening and then went to bed. October 14th, 2024. I'm going to record today, but before I do, I'm going to the cemetery. While at the cemetery, I receive a call from my grandson. He has pillows and a few bags of food to donate to the homeless. So when I leave the cemetery, I take him to a close by homeless camp. There is a man sitting along the highway with his dog. My grandson hands the man the pillows first. He takes them and lays them on his legs and over his body. He must be cold. My grandson then hands him the bags of food, and my grandson said when he returned to the car, that man was so happy. His eyes lit up like a kid on Christmas morning. I said, "Aw, really?" My grandson said yes, with a tear in his eye. I said, "You did a good thing here." My grandson said his dog was laying there with him. I gave them very little. They have very little in life, and he appreciated the littlest things. And they're not even new. I said, "That's okay. It should make you feel good for doing a good deed today and making that man's day." My grandson said, "It does. And thank you, Nana." I said, "You're welcome," as we pull away. He wants to go to my house, so we did. I visit with him, and I did not record today. And it's okay. I thank God for this day. My grandson is spending the night to go to work in the morning. Have a good night. October 15th, 2024. This morning at 11:42 a.m., I receive an update on the numbers of listeners. I'm glad to see it. Now I need to record. Have a nice day. October 16th, 2024. This morning at 10:22 a.m., I went to the cemetery. I pull up to visit Wyatt, and I snap a photo of his area and the headstone. I walk over to his headstone and snapped another photo, His yellow flowers are laying on the ground nearby. I pick them up and put them back in his vase. In the third picture, it's of all of his flowers now in his vase. I visit with Wyatt, and a little longer I pull around to visit Megan. In the first picture is a full view picture of Babyland 6th West. Megan's flowers are still here, stuck in the ground, west of the existing tree. In the third picture, it's an up-close picture of Megan's area and her flowers. The next picture is of the southeast headstone to the rock headstone, headstones to the west, and onto the Mother Mary statue. The fifth picture is of Megan's flowers close up. I sit to visit with her for a bit, and then I leave the cemetery. As my day moves forward, I receive a call to meet Madison at an urgent pet care. I hurry over to make sure the puppy will be okay. Over an hour later, Madison is able to take Stella Bella home, and she sends me pictures of her dog laying on the floor wrapped in a blanket. I talk to Madison about it for a while. We hang up shortly after, and then I relax, and then I say goodnight. October 17th, 2024. I thank you, God. Starting my day this morning, I check on my youngest granddog. She seems to be doing better. This is the second time this has happened, and the vet is thinking she's having seizures. And if she is, it's okay. Not okay in the sense of her being ill, but the sense if she is sick in any way, we will care for her as long as she doesn't suffer. But the good news is she's up and walking today. She is a tough little girl dog. This afternoon, my grandson calls and wants me to help him write a resume. I did help him. When I finish, I'm enjoying the afternoon. I receive pictures of the other 3 granddogs, and I'm happy to see they are good. This was my free day. October 18th, 2024. Before I start the writing for this next episode, I went to the cemetery, more or less a drive-through. I visit with Wyatt and Megan. Actually, I sit and just enjoy listening to the birds chirp. And every now and then a car will drive by. When I leave the cemetery, I go to the store and then home. After I cook and eat dinner, I start writing, and at this time, I know it takes me about 4 hours to write an episode. It came easy, went on paper as it is to, and I will reread it and time it tomorrow. October 19th, 2024. This morning my phone rings. It's Madison asking me to walk with her and the dogs. We took Roxy May for a walk. We can only take one at a time, but they like their walks, and we do too. When I'm done, I take my grandson to the country to do some work. We spent most of the afternoon there, which I did not mind. I love the country air. When we were done, I take my grandson home, and I went home also. After I settled down, I did reread and timed the episode to find it is not long enough by 2 or 3 minutes. I sit to write a little longer, and about an hour later, I'm done. I reread it and time it, and it is now ready to record. Soon after I were done, Madison sent me a couple pictures of Wyatt and Megan's areas, Babyland 6th West, at the cemetery. And thank you, Madison, for checking on things. Then later this evening, I watched TV until time for bed. October 20th, 2024. I think this morning and afternoon I spent time outside. The weather is mild. It's nice. When I go inside, I receive pictures of my granddogs. They are all good and well. I cooked dinner. Well, to let it cook slow. I clean up, I do laundry, and I get ready for this upcoming week. No recording today, hopefully tomorrow. October 21st, 2024. Today is my grandson's birthday, so I take him to lunch and give him his gift. When I drop him off at home, I get home to record. I didn't start right away. I wait until the evening hours to find the quiet time, so there's no interruptions. When I did start this evening, I can feel the stress. I feel my levels are high. I sit, I cry, I pray, I get started, but oh no, I can't. I set it aside. I sit down to relax, to clear my mind. I'm emotional, so I did not attempt to record. October 22nd, 2024. Recording day for sure. It's Tuesday. I need to get it done. I start at 11:23 a.m. I get it on my third try. Thank God. After I re-listen to it, I schedule it, and it is now ready for tomorrow at 8 p.m. When I finish, I went to the cemetery at 4:19 p.m. I pull up to Wyatt's area. I take the first photo of his area from the street. I visit with him, I check around his area, and I walk away to the car to visit with Megan. In the first picture of Megan's area, Babyland 6 West, it's a picture with the electrical pole in the center of the photo. The existing tree branches hanging over to the south. In the next picture, the photo shows more of the same picture as in picture 1, but this picture shows more of the branches of the south tree, the existing tree. Megan's flowers show in this picture, and in the third picture too, but it's a full view picture of Babyland 6 West. In picture 4, it's of the electrical pole, the headstones in between to the north of this existing tree. In picture 5, it's from the black and white Babyland sign to the double headstones, to the blue and white Babyland 6 West sign, to the existing tree, Megan's flowers, and headstones to the west, including the newly set in headstone. This picture also shows full view area to the headstones north of the tree. In the sixth picture, it's the lineup of the southeast headstone, the rock headstone, headstones on west to the Mother Mary statue. It also shows the newly set in headstones in recently and how close they sit to the southeast headstone. In the next picture is a full view picture of Babyland 6 West. And the eighth picture is full view area 2, but more north of the tree. In the ninth picture, it is of the south of the existing tree to the north where the north tree existed. The 10th picture is north of the existing tree to the north where headstones sit now, of where the north tree did sit. And east of this area, the big drain is also shown. Let's compare to see where the big drain is in older pictures and where the north tree sat back then. In this 11th picture, I stand north of the big drain, the old drain, no new replacement here, but I stand north of this big drain and I take a picture of the area to the south, south of the electrical pole. This is a picture to compare to the picture taken the day of Megan's funeral, of how another tree could even fit to sit between the electrical pole and the existing tree. Yes, yet again, it did not happen. In the next picture, I walk further north and I take a photo of, and this picture could be identical to the very picture of the day of her funeral, minus the guest and the headstones that are now setting north. They were washed down south by floodwaters. In the 13th picture is of the existing tree, or as I know it, the South Tree, and Megan's flower and the nearby locations. I get in my car and I sit a while looking over the area. And yes, it makes me sick to think these people have done this. It's so disrespectful. Thank you for listening. Stay kind with your words.